Welcome back. As we earlier said, this is witnessing the second day of the holy month. This is a month of mercy. This is a month of people to be pious. This is a month of wisdom, and this is a month of forgiveness from God. The doors are for hell are closed, and the doors of heaven are open for almost 30 days. It's wide open for those who are going to practice the good deeds, who are going to take it with seriousness, who are going to be pious, who are going to be doing the best for humanity and the best for the sake of God. And also, fasting, as we all know, it purifies the heart, and it also enhances morality inside us. And it's important to remember that for a Muslim to be characterized by good manners, by faith, and always the month of Ramadan is a self-training period for all these values and virtues. And that's why we're going to be talking about the good virtues of Ramadan in this segment. And we're very delighted to be having with us live over the phone Dr. Saeed Keshk. He's an Al-Azhar scholar. Good morning, Dr. Keshk.
Good morning. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And to all our dear viewers, كل عام وحضراتكم بخير.
Same to you, sir. Ramadan Kareem to you. And first, let us talk about controlling the desires and self-restraint in general. Fasting in Ramadan is not only the fasting from, abstaining from food, but it's also restraining yourself from anger, restraining yourself from the bad deeds, restraining yourself from harming others, and restraining yourself from all the evil thoughts that might overcome your mind, which sometimes make you commit mistakes or commit crimes or you name it. So talk to us about the virtues of fasting as a start.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين وأصلي وأسلم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين سيدنا ومولانا محمد رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. As we just said, the month of Ramadan is the month of mercy, the month of forgiveness. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam described it: أوله رحمة وأوسطه مغفرة وآخره عتق من النار. So the first is like a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the middle of this month is a forgiveness, and it ends with a releasing from the hellfire, as it has been narrated that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says at his the last night of Ramadan, أشهدكم يا ملائكتي أني غفرت لهم. Oh my angel, I witness you that I forgive to those all who are fasting. حديث رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم says: من قام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا فقد غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. In another narration: من صام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا فقد غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. All those who are fasting during the month of Ramadan for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and with a firm belief, Allah forgives his sin. As for your question, exactly, fasting is not abstain from eating and drinking and sexual desires from the dawn to the sunset. حديث رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول: من لا يدع قول الزور ولا عمل به فليس لله حاجة في أن يدع طعامه وشرابه. This hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam confirmed the idea that fasting in Ramadan is not to abstain from eating and drinking and sexual desire from the dawn,
of course,
to the sunset. As those who are doesn't avoid, this is what the Prophet says, those who are doesn't avoid gossiping, backbiting, harming others. Allah doesn't need that his abstaining from foods or drink. This is because fasting is to abstain from immoral activities. This is because the main wisdom behind fasting in Ramadan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about it in the Quran. Often says that كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون. Here is the main wisdom behind fasting in this verse. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed fasting upon us so that we may be pious, so that we may be righteous, so that we may maybe attain taqwa. This is what Allah says in the Quran. لَعَلَّكُمْ. So the word لَعَلَّكُمْ that mentioned in the verse of fasting, ayat siyam, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, that means maybe. It's probable that those who are fasting person may reach taqwa, may reach the piety, may reach God's fearing, which means that taqwa, which means that getting what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us to do and avoiding what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to, or what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbids. So those who are just abstain from eating and drinking, as the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allah فَلَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَةً فِي أَنْ يَضْعَ طَعَامَهُ وَشَرَابَهُ, as long as he doesn't abstain from anything that harms others.
Right. So talking about fasting again, fasting is only, it was made for us to restrain ourselves. First of all, the wisdom behind fasting, and you can correct me, was made to make human beings at large feel the need of others, feel the distress of others, feel the hunger of others and the thirst of others, the less privilege, of course. Either it's a human being or an animal. It's the same. We should understand the needs of others. If someone is hungry, we should share with them food. We should share with them the goods that we have, even if it's a human being or an animal.
Exactly.
And that is the true rituals and teachings of Islam, right?
Exactly. And this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran clearly. Allah, as we said that, mentioned the wisdom behind fasting in Quran. The verse, Allah says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. Oh, you believe? Fasting has been prescribed upon you, as it has been prescribed upon previous nations. And then Allah mentioned the wisdom, saying that لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you may be righteous, or so that you may attain taqwa. The second verse, or the following verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks what you say about right now, about the second wisdom behind fasting, which is لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, so that you may be grateful to Allah's blessing by sharing it with others, so that you maybe feel those who are hungry, so that you maybe feel those who are starving through the whole years, so that you maybe feel with Allah's creatures, with Allah's all creatures. The honeybee doesn't find what they can eat and drink the whole year. The honeybee fasts, not for a month, but for a year. So this is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, لِتُكَبِّرُوا اللَّهَ عَلَى مَا هَدَاكُمْ وَلَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ. This is at the end of the following verse of fasting. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, so that you may be, say takbir in the day of Eid, and the second, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَشْكُرُونَ, so that you may be grateful. So fasting, of course, teaches the ummah that the sense of sharing, the sense of solidarity. That's why it is the end of it. It is the end of Ramadan. There is zakatul fitri, which is zakah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed it, and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam commanded the ummah to pay it during the fast, during Ramadan, or maybe at the end of Ramadan. According to the majority of scholars, we can pay it even from the starting day of Ramadan to the people who need it. And this is tuhratul lis-sa'im. For those who are, the cattle fitri that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed upon everyone, every Muslim, male or female, abdan aw hurran, saghiran aw kabiran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prescribed upon all people to give it to those weak people, the poor people. At the end of the fasting day, at the end of the fasting, to just Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala pardon any sin that he commit during that month, وَطُعْمَةً لِلْمِسْكِينَ, and to feed those who are needy people. So fasting, the second main wisdom behind fasting, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, is to be grateful and to feel sympathy with those who are starving and those who are hungry. With those who are maybe does not find what they can eat and drink through the whole year. And this is, of course, the poor and needy people. And that makes people, that motivates people, that encourages people to give, to feed, to share Allah's blessings. That's why it is a month, is not a month of eating, as the Prophet Muhammad said, it is a month of feeding. So those who are مفطر صائما, anyone, the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad teaches the Ummah that whoever feeds a fasting person, whoever give a breakfast for a fasting person, فَلَهُ مِثْلُ أَجْرِهِ, he has the same reward for that fasting person. And the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu اتَّقِ النَّارَ وَلَوْ بِشِكِّ تَمْرَةٍ, when the Sahaba says that, oh, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, look, every one of us has the money, has singers, has different, has the means, has the ability to give a breakfast for people during the month of Ramadan. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, اتَّقِ النَّارَ وَلَوْ بِشِكِّ تَمْرَةٍ, just share with it. Just do it, even with a sip of milk, even with a date. This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it a great reward, because Ramadan is considered as it is the holiest month of the Islamic calendar, and a great nafha. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam teaches the Ummah saying that, إِنَّ لِرَبِّكُمْ فِي أَيَّامِ دَهْرِكُمْ لَنَفَحَاتٍ أَلَا تَتَعَرَّضُوا لَهُ لَعَلَّ أَحَدُكُمْ يصيبه منها نفحة فلا يفقى بعدها أبدا. The Prophet Muhammad teaches the Ummah that there is a specific time, special days, a special occasion, special month, like the month of Ramadan, like Laylatul Qadr, like the day of Arafah, like the night of Friday. All of this is nafahat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the days and the specific occasion in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doubles the reward. So every one of the Ummah, the Prophet Muhammad gave them the advice that should تَتَعَرَّضُوا لَهَا, should take the advantage of it, should do their best in order to grab the opportunity to get the reward of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. لَعَلَّ أَحَدُكُمْ يُصِيبُهُ مِنْهَا نَفْحَةً فَلَا يَشْقَى بَعْدَهَا أَبَدًا. Any one of these nafahat, it could be a reason behind a man's happiness in this life and the hereafter.
Right. And also, how does the teachings of Quran and the rulings of the holy month reflect the tolerance of Islam, as it has ordered, following the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad, sharing the food, rejoicing together, even with non-Muslims. I mean, not only for Muslims, but also sharing your food with other people, regardless of their race, regardless of their social status, regardless of their color, their faith, their religion. We should share and we should give everybody. Even, I mean, the feasts of iftar that are held for everybody, that does not only concern Muslims, but everybody who is hungry. So talk to us about it.
Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ. The Prophet Muhammad set a good example for Muslims of treating others. How should we treat other people, regardless of their belief, regardless of their race, regardless of their nationality? All people in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are one. And that's why the Quran says that, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. When the Quran teaches the Ummah how should they deal and treat people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that you should treat all people husna, in a good way. Allah says in nas, the people. It doesn't say Muslim. That's why it's a general rule in Islam that we have to treat all people in a great manner. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he stood up for a funeral of a Jewish man, and the Sahaba are wondering, "Oh Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, oh Rasulullah, innaha janazata Yahudiyya, Rasulullah. Why stood up? It is a funeral of a Jewish man." The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught them a lesson, saying that "Alaysat nafsan, isn't a soul?" As the Prophet Muhammad wanted to tell the Ummah and the Sahaba that all soul should be treated equally in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is how the Quran describes him. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ O Muhammad إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Always send you Muhammad as a mercy for all people, for all creatures. That's why feeding and during the month of Ramadan, that we feel starving, or we feel hungry, or maybe feel thirst, because we are abstained from eating and drinking from the dawn to the sunset. That makes and motivates people to control desire, at the same time motivate people to help others. Those who are needy people, those who are hungry people, those who are starving people. And this is regardless of being a Muslim or not Muslim. I mean, particularly if he's a neighbor.
Right.
So it's a matter of that. If do you have one of your relatives, al-aqrabuna awla bil-ma'ruf, if the one that you have a relative that he's in need of that, then it will be sadaqatan wasila, if you're going to give a charity. And then you have a relative one of your family. Of course, not a father or a wife or a care, because those people who are in the charge and in the expense of them. But if someone of a relative, maybe your cousin or maybe your sister who married, and she is in need, if you give her, you help her, this is considered in Islam as sadaqatan wa sila. It's considered as a charity that has a reward, and the sila is like a visiting relative, so you will take the two rewards of it. And if you do have a non-Muslim who is your neighbor, then he has a right of neighborhood. But you have to help him. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Wallahi la yu'min, wallahi la yu'min, wallahi la yu'min, man bata shab'an, wa jaruhu ja'a." Those who are sleeping while they are full, and their neighbor, regardless of being Muslim or non-Muslim, their neighbor are sleeping while they are hungry or starving. And لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ. So the Prophet Muhammad was a good model, a good example how for all of us, how should we treat with others, regardless of their religion or regardless of their race, or regardless of their nationality.
Right. On that great note, would like to thank you, Sir Dr. Saeed Keshk. You're an Azhar scholar. Would like to thank you so much, and you have a good day. We're going to go to a short break, and we'll come to continue the breakfast show, so stay with us.